Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I know the setup's a little different. Excuse the bad lighting, just at least for one video. The ring light that I usually use for lighting and stuff just stopped working for some reason, so just trying to improvise. But there is a pretty good slate for La Liga games. I believe there's like 4 games, which is more than I thought, especially for like a Wednesday. Usually there's maybe 1 or 2 games, but there's plenty of games to go through. Good picks as well that I like, so I'll just get straight into those. We had a good day last video, but I'll get into that towards the end. But first pick is Inaki Williams to go higher than 2.5 shots playing at home for Bilbao, going up against Valencia. Well, he has gone under in both games so far this season. In the first game at home, he had 2 against Getafe. He took 2 out of Bilbao's 7 total shots, and one they didn't take as many shots because one they took an early lead, so they had not too much of a reason to attack. And 2, it was the first game. I think they were just off in general. It was the first game. Maybe this chemistry wasn't there for some reason. I don't expect the same thing to happen this game. And then he didn't have any against Barcelona, but away from home. But it is a tough defense, so I don't blame him too much now. Last season, he played Valencia at home. He went over with 3 last season, and Valencia have lost their first 2 games so far this season. They've conceded 5 goals in those 2 games, and they just have a leaky defense, nowhere near as good as defensively as how they were last season. So this is a good chance for Bilbao to take advantage of that matchup, because they also haven't won a game so far. They tied 1 and lost 1, so now they're playing at home. They were unlucky to not beat Getafe. Now they need to take advantage of this matchup against Valencia. Valencia's weak at defending the wings, which is where Inaki plays, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities down that wing like he did last season against them to take at least those 3 shots. And then he's going to be more offensive as well, because Nico Williams might not play, and if he does, maybe he'll come off the bench because he was injured in last game against Barcelona. So he's going to be one of their main attacking threats, and he's going to need to shoot if they want to get their first win. He averaged 2.93 per 90 last season, and he averaged 3.1 at home. He took 52 with his right, 28 with his left, and 13 were headers. So he's versatile as well. He's willing to take shots with whatever, whenever he gets the opportunities. And in 71 of those shots were from inside the box, and 22 were from outside. So again, he's also willing to take those shots from outside the box. So I like this prop for Inaki Williams to go higher than 2.5 shots. My next prop is Mamadou Sila to go higher than 2 shots playing at home for Valladolid, going up against Leganes. He's gone over in 1 out of 2 games this season. In the first game, he had 3 at home versus Espanyol from 12 total shots, so he took a good percentage of the shots. And then he had 1 away against Real Madrid, but he came off the bench and only played like 18-20 minutes, and he was still able to take 1 shot with a tough Real Madrid defense. So I feel like this is probably just too low in my opinion. He's playing at home against Leganes, and that's the team that he faced last season in the 2nd division. And when he played them at home, he had 5 shots from 21 of Valladolid's total shots. So just like in the first game where he took 3 out of 12, he took 5 out of 21. So on average, he takes about 25% of the shots that Valladolid gets, which is good. He averaged 2.69 shots per 90 last season. And in general, he wins 71% of his aerial duels. He's 6 foot tall, so he's a big, tall body that will also win those headers. Leganes gave Osasuna at home. Osasuna was playing at home. Leganes was playing away. Gave them 16 shots, and Osasuna's not a good attack in any sense. So Valladolid can also take advantage of that matchup. They did good against them last season. I think at 2.0 is a good safe mark to take Sila to go higher than 2 shots. My next prop is Antoine Griezmann to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted, playing at home for Atletico Madrid, going up against Espanyol. He's gone over in 1 out of 2 games. He went under in the first game away from home to Villarreal, and then in the last game when he played at home, he went over with 2 against Girona. And now in this next game, Sorloth and Alvarez, 2 strikers, are projected to play up top next to him. So one, he's going to be probably more playing as a playmaker, which he's an underrated passer as well in general. And he's going to have more attacking players to pass it to. He's probably going to be playing more as that attacking midfield threat. And we just need him to get 2 shots assisted. And I honestly think that's a steal. Not just that, he can also pass it to Lino on the flank, and he's a shooter as well. So I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities. He averaged 1.4 at home. We just need him to get that second. And like I said, he's going to have more offensive players to pass it to. So I like this prop. And Espanyol have played Valladolid and Sociedad in the first 2 games, and they're playing a much better offense away from home with Atletico Madrid. And they gave Valladolid 12 shots when they played them away. And like I said, Atletico have a much better offense. So I like this prop. I like Antoine Griezmann to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted. My last player prop is Alex Ramiro to go lower than 2.5 saves, playing at home for Sociedad, going up against Alaves. He's gone under this mark in 1 out of 2 games. He had 2 saves at home to Vallecano, and then when he went over, he had 3, and that's when they played away to Espanyol. And in that game against Espanyol, they only had 0.45 expected goals, so the shots that he faced weren't even good anyways. So that's just one thing that I wanted to point out. And then they played Alaves obviously twice last season in La Liga, and he went under this mark in both games. He had a red card 36 minutes in. If you want to count that, he didn't have a save then, but even then his replacement keeper that came in for the rest of that game only had 1 save as well, and that was at home. And then when he played them away, he played the full game and he had 0 saves. So Alaves in general, just in my opinion, might not even get 3 shots on target. They don't have a good attack. And then when you look at the keepers that Alaves has faced this season in the first 2 games, they've gone under this mark in both games. When they played at home versus Celta, they only had, Celta played at home, they had 1 save. And then when they away to Betis, he also only had 1 save, so they do not have a good attack. They were the 3rd worst away defense in the league. And then their only really main offensive threats that they had last season, Morodion, their young striker, moved to Porto, and then Rioja on the wing also moved to Valencia. So their only really main source of attack are out of the team, and they don't really have anybody that has replaced them. And they're playing at home against Sociedad, who have a pretty decent defense. He's gone under in both games against them last season. He's gone under in his 1 home game this season. I think this is a good mark and a steal as well. I like Remiro to go lower than 2.5 saves. Before I do get into the last money line picks, I do want to mention that I do have a YouTube membership for those that are interested. It is completely optional, of course, but for those that want to get the plays out early before anybody else to try to avoid potential bumps and plays getting taken away. It's also a great way to support the channel if you want to do that. And then I also want to give a quick shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description to match your first deposit up to $100. And then I also have my PrizePicks, my Fliff, my Cashapp, all that if you ever feel generous or want to use any of those codes. And I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way. My first play is the Athletic Bilbao money line against Valencia. Last season, this prop hit 12 out of 19 times. They are yet to win this season, but like I said, I feel like this is a good time and it's due for them to win. I do not expect them to go a 3rd game winless. This team is just too good for that to happen. And Valencia have lost both of the games so far this season. They lost 1-2 away from home, to Barcelona, and then they played away to Celta, and then they lost that one 3-1. So they have a leaky defense. They've conceded 5 goals in 2 games, which is just not like Valencia. And I expect Bilbao to take advantage of Valencia's bad form and not playing at home. Bilbao have actually been unbeaten in their last 19 home league games, and with this one it'd be 20. We need them to win this game. But Valencia are winless in their last 9 games in general in the league, losing 7 out of those 9 games. And it's pretty much the same attack that scored 42 goals in 19 games and conceded 18. And in the first home game that they had against Getafe, like I said, it was the first game. I think they were just unlucky to not score a second or to win that game against Getafe. So I think it's a good prop. You're getting good value just because they haven't won. So I like the Bilbao money line against Valencia. And then my second prop is the Atletico Madrid first half 3 money line against Espanyol. This has gone over. This has hit in 1 out of 2 games this season. When they played away to Villarreal, this went under. They tied. And then when they played at home to Girona, this prop hit. This prop hit in 10 out of 19 home games last season, in which they scored 20 goals in those 19 and only conceded 9. So and now that they're playing with Alvarez and Sorloth up top, their attack is only getting better, and I do expect them to score. It's just whether they don't concede. And Espanyol, in the 1 away game that they played, hit for the other team in which they were losing by the first half. And Espanyol in the first 2 games are yet to score. They are scoreless in both of the games. So I don't expect Espanyol to score in the first half. Maybe they could in the second half if they're lucky. But in the first half, I don't expect them to score. This is just whether Atletico Madrid can score that goal. And I think they will, especially with the much better attack with Alvarez and Sorloth up top. So I think you're getting good value for this one as well. If you want to take a lean, you could also look at their -1.5. But I like the Atletico Madrid first half 3 money line against Espanyol. Quickly going over last video's picks. Swept the money line again. under 1.5 goals in the first half for like Galatasaray and Young Boys game. I said that could easily end in a 0-0 first half just because Young Boys going to be more defensive, and that's exactly what happened. It was a scoreless first half, which was good. Watford money line against Plymouth. They're in form. Plymouth didn't even score. Watford won 2-0, and it's Sevilla or draw. That game just ended scoreless in general, but we just needed them to not lose, and I said Sevilla wasn't going to lose, so that one hit for us as well. 3-0 money line sweep. And then Grief, the goalkeeper for Mallorca, did DMP. Roman started instead, and I did have him as an added play because it's just swapping keepers, and that hit as well. Added Ter Stegen on saves, that one hit. Saul hit within the first 10 minutes, that was easy as well. And then Lamine Yamal, even if he took his bump at 2, he still hit, I believe. So that one was good player props as well. And then Icardi, I know I posted him on the video at 3, but as I uploaded it, he got bumped to 3.5, so which is where everybody obviously got the player prop at, and he ended with 3, which is unfortunate, so that one missed. And then I added ZH higher than 2.5 shots assisted because they needed to be attacking, but since it was scoreless first half, for some reason they took him off at halftime, which was weird. I feel like they needed more offense, and he should have been stayed on the game. But in general, it was still a good day. It was a 72 day again. I believe that was the same day as yesterday. So 14-4, and then another money line sweep. So hopefully we can keep that streak going into tomorrow. But other than that, I hope everybody likes the video, comments, enjoys it, subscribe, comment, all of that. I really would appreciate if you guys dropped a comment to boost the video out to more people. We're doing well, and these videos are free. So if you can just push them out, it'd be great. And then also have the Discord for those that don't know. It's completely free. It's linked in the description. It's for people talk about their own lines, their own plays. People talk in game, trying to build a good community, and everybody in there is just nice to everybody, willing to help everybody else when it comes to them. People that don't know soccer, explaining the rules and just stuff like that. I think it's just a great community that I'm trying to build over there. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.